The Conversation is a video series showcasing the real-life experiences of families navigating the journey of Seventh-day Adventist education. In today's episode, we sit down with the Whitehead family to hear their story. Can you tell us a bit about your family and your religious background?
Only in the last 6 years or so, I actually learned quite a bit about religious background with respect to my parents and so on, especially on my mother's side. About 6 years ago at my mom's funeral, my maternal aunt was there. And in fact, even before I think that she landed here, she assisted me in constructing the eulogy. And I learned that apparently, as it turns out, I'm actually fourth generation SDA as opposed to third. Because I knew that her dad, my mom's dad, my maternal grandfather, whom I never knew, he was an Adventist pastor in India or Sri Lanka. And so I discovered that on the other side of my mom's family, her mother, her maternal grandparents were actually first converts to Seventh-day Adventism in Sri Lanka. Yeah, I would have to say that because I didn't know for a long time any generation or know about any generation prior to my mom's parents. So it was very intriguing to discover. Yeah, my dad as well was intriguing to discover that fact. So I don't know anything beyond that generation. So I have to assume, for all intents and purposes, SDA right through.
Well, I was born and raised Adventist. My parents were Adventists. I believe they both got baptized in the crusade in St. Joseph in 1969, I believe it was. My grandmother and my aunts and uncles would have gotten baptized in that crusade, and my grandfather followed years later. But I grew up in an Adventist family, cousins, aunts, uncles.
Can you describe your initial expectations when you decided to enroll your children in a Seventh-day Adventist school, and have those expectations been met?
Can't say that I really had any expectations. I mean, going into any school, you just go and see what happens. I don't think I really had any expectations. As the others came along, though, the expectations would have been there. Nivi would have had a good introduction and transition as she went through the classes, so I would have expected the same for JS. It didn't happen. And then Angelique came, and so far, it's been good for her as well. So I think with, how should I say, successive principles, maybe things got a little better as things went on, especially for JS. But coming into it from the beginning, I didn't have any,
Were there any specific programs or aspects of the school's curriculum that stood out to you as particularly valuable or unique?
The emphasis on Bible. And, at home you might get to do worship and so on. At church you have Sabbath school and so on. But that time is always limited. Church time, you're on a clock and getting ready in the mornings, you're on the clock. But when they have Bible in school, yes, it's on the timetable, so you have a certain time to do it, yes, but you do it every day. So those things, if you didn't finish it yesterday, you come back and you get it again. And I find that important because even with JS, that, as I said, don't really seem to care about much. I was trying to remember, just now who told me, I believe it was his Pathfinder instructor that told me, Jess knows a lot. He said, you ask him anything and he can tell you, he knows the information. Yes, he said, you know, you ask him questions, he answers, he knows the information, but Jesh is not somebody that's going to give it to you willingly. He's not going to give it to you willingly. If you ask him, he will tell you. So he's taking in the information. You just may not necessarily see it on a day-to-day.